What is going on, guys? This is what happens when I accidentally press buttons, and I shouldn't be pressing buttons. So we're going to be starting in 6 minutes. So just go ahead and disregard that time in the corner. I can't really fix that now. So what is going on, guys? Great way to start off 2021, right? Yeah. Hope everyone's doing well out there. Can you guys hear me okay? I made some adjustments to the volume as well. Just want to make sure I'm coming in all right. I appreciate those good vibes, Mr. Exquisite. Where can I shuffle these windows to? I got too many windows open right now. Look at me going and botching that. Mic check, can you guys hear me all right? Hope everyone is doing well out there and having a good 2021 so far. Awesome, thank you, buddy, for that. I appreciate you. So, yep, I'm back. It's 2021. I kind of felt like doing a show today. Those of you who didn't catch it, I released a video yesterday. I'm going to talk more about it after the show gets up and running. I would love it, or I released it today. I would love it if you guys went and checked it out. I recorded it and edited it yesterday, and they take a while to put together, but it was a really fun shoot. And then after I finished that, I said, you know what? I'm in a good mood. I feel like doing a Sunday show, and I talked with the missus, and I said, hey, it's going to be an all-day project. You all right with me going in and abandoning you for the day? And she's like, yeah, sure. Do what you got to do. So I went ahead and got it put together for today. So we're going to have a little bit of a show. We're going to have a little bit of good time, do a little bit of live Q&A. We're 4 minutes away from starting the show, regardless of what that timer says. I should just move my little image of myself and just cover that timer up. But we're 4 minutes out, guys. Eric in Ohio says, did you sign the petition? The recall Gavin Newsom? Which petition are we talking about? Money from Mars says, watched it earlier, good stuff. Thanks, Money from Mars. I appreciate that. If you do me a favor, drop a comment on the video. Those comments really help with YouTube serving those videos up. Obviously, I like it if you like it, but if you anyone who comments and engages with the video, it helps change how YouTube recommends and serves those videos up for people. We got Fat Girl Sewing in the house. Good to see you again. Thanks for dropping on in for my impromptu show. Appreciate having you. We're 3 minutes out from starting the show. My timer, I pressed some buttons. I screwed the pooch on that one. My apologies. But yeah, I hope you're all doing well tonight. I got a bunch of really neat pickups, and I know I say that every single week. Some of you have been seeing the sales that I've been having. I've been posting them up onto the Facebook group. I went ahead and put the link in the description. If you're here somehow and you're a stranger to our community, would love if you came and checked us out. But I've been posting some of those sales, and they've been good. Let me adjust this a hair. They've been good, but I have a couple of bins, big bins, of items that I have not shown on air. They haven't even been photographed or listed. Some of these I just got last night or night before last, so I'll show you some of that. I've still been actively sourcing, picking, thrifting. Spent most of my time focusing on the Pokemon type stuff, but now I'm kind of in a little bit of a lull from that while we wait for the next expansion to come out. So 2 minutes out, guys. 2 minutes out. Disregard the timer in the corner. And yes, tonight we will be taking your questions. If you have any questions regarding pretty much anything, feel free to drop them in, and we'll take care of you. How has everyone been? We haven't talked since what? End of Q4. Christmas special. So did you guys have good Christmas sales? Was it everything that you were expecting? Was it the big holiday boom that everyone had talked about, or was it a little bit of lackluster for you? And how's Q1 going for you? I don't know if you've been trucking along with your sales, but we've been slaying it over here. I think last 90 days have been something special for me. Let me take a peek. Did I tell you there's still people out there who don't believe that I actually sell on eBay? Yeah, my 90-day total, this is probably the highest I've ever had it in my life. 41,000 in sales over 90 days. If you're looking to learn how to scale your business up, make a little bit more money, definitely reach out to me. It's one of my favorite things is to talk to people about building wealth within your e-commerce brand. So kind of talk the talk, walk the walk. Love to talk with you guys about your brand. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go and hit that intro right now, because like I said, we're at 4 o'clock. We don't get all the 4 o'clock PST. We don't get that great music that we normally use to roll into the show, but that's fine. Let's go and kick it off. What is going on, guys? My name is Jay Kraft with the Facebook group All Around Pickers Lounge, coming at you live from beautiful Bakersfield, California. Today is January 24th, 2021. Happy New Year's to all of you. I haven't seen you since Christmas, and it's good to see you again. I appreciate you taking the time to be here for another one of our random hodgepodge news, training, education, enlightenment, Q&A, ask me something and get an answer with a grain of salt show. Thanks for being here. The holidays have been great and grand for me, and I hope they've been the same for you. Tonight, we're going to be covering a plethora of different things. We're talking about a hot new scam that I am currently the victim of and what I'm doing to try and put a stop to it, and some of the inside details that I have that a lot of you probably don't even know yet, and no fault to you. This is a brand new emerging scam that I pretty much decided I wanted to do this show just so I could talk to everyone about it. I was originally going to do a standalone, but I ended up doing a standalone video on a completely different topic, and I thought, you know what, the people who really enjoy my content are going to pop in, they're going to watch this show, they're going to see that I got an important thing to talk about, and they're going to come through and they're going to learn about it, because this is a very highly sophisticated scam that can make it so that way you have a confirmed delivery to your door and nothing actually got shipped to you. Pretty darn wild, right? And I'm right in the middle of a $1,000 transaction with this exact same scam, and I'm going to explain to you what I'm doing to put a stop to it and what you can do and what you're going to need to know, and just pretty much how bad it's going to be. The effects of this new scam can pretty much grind e-commerce to a hard halt here over the next 30 days if a reasonable solution isn't discovered. On top of that, we're going to be talking about eBay and some new updates from listings all the way to payments. There's some stuff going on with that. Just interesting things I felt like touching base on. We got some changes going on with Etsy. We rarely talk about Etsy, but they got a real simple change I wanted to cover real quick. The big things, two big things on the night beyond the whole scam discussions. We're going to be doing pickups on the week. I've got a couple of really big bins and bags full of goodies. I don't know, maybe 100 items here. We're going to try and get through as much of it as we can, but I know the pickups aren't everyone's thing. If you enjoy it, we'll do a bunch of it, and if not, then I'm going to go have a double over the rocks after this is over. So on top of that, we're also doing live Q&A. Those of you who are here for the first time, there's a couple of you that are here, feel free to interject anytime, regardless of what I'm talking about. If you got a question, we'll do our best to get to it as soon as we get to a little bit of a stopping point. And you can talk to me or ask about anything e-commerce related, whether eBay, Amazon, Mercari, Etsy, whatever it is, and I'll do my best to answer. And if I can't get you an answer today, I'll get you an answer here within the next couple of days, and we'll put it in the comments or something for you, or I'll email you out. And if you have any questions regarding other things, those of you who don't know, I put out a video this week, it came out yesterday, on the topic of trading card games and specifically Pokemon and the emerging bubble within the market that's happening right now. And I really enjoy talking about this category. It's one of my favorite things to talk about. And someone had put out a video. I really didn't agree with a lot of the points within the video. And I said, you know what? I'm going to take that role that I've never taken before. I'm going to be a commentary channel for a hot minute. And I'm going to give my counterpoints to this discussion. Because believe it or not, I take calls all day long now from different people who are speculating within the trading card game market. And if you're wondering, yes, his desk just moved up with the camera on it. I take questions all day long from different people. And one of the most common things I hear from people is, Jay, aren't you worried that that this whole thing's just going to collapse? And I just have to explain to people, I've been doing this a lot longer than the last 45 to 60 days. I've been in this category for years. Even when I was a kid, and I was flipping cards to be able to pay for food, I've been in it for a long while. So if you have any questions regarding markets, speculative, trading cards, yada, 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 don't be afraid to ask. We'll talk about those too. So we're going to be covering a handful of things, but I would really appreciate if you went and checked out that video. If you're at all involved within any speculative market, whether that be stamps, comics, coins, whatever, there's some interesting points and some things that you can learn from checking it out. What else do we got going on? Oh, don't forget, today is the day that postal rates go up. So what you paid yesterday is not going to be the same as what you paid today. We talked about these postal rate increases in our last episode. Came out on December 22nd, 23rd. You can find it on the channel. We covered all the postal rate increases. Flat rate saw nominal gains. Cubic saw gains as well. Everything went up. And what's crazy is normally these changes really only hose domestic sellers, but believe it or not, the ripple from this actually impacts a lot. Sorry, I'm trying to fix my chair here. It actually impacts a lot of domestic, come on, get into place. It actually impacts a lot of international sellers as well, because SpeedPack, the Orange Connex, the essential drop ship solution that is offered by eBay for Chinese sellers, Hong Kong sellers, and pretty much like the whole Japanese, South Korea type region, Taiwan as well, they saw an increase in their cost as well. So those of you who are buying large amounts of goods on the light end spectrum might see increases on some of those goods when you get them imported into America. Also, a lot of people are dealing with really expensive stuff coming in internationally as well, and just be mindful of regulations and tariffs that can be attached to those items, especially if you're one of those people buying Pokemon goods in large quantity from international, because those bills will add up very, very quickly if you're not careful with what you're doing. On top of that, I just wanted to mention to everyone, make sure you look at UPS and FedEx. I don't understand why people haven't noticed these great rate increases or rate decreases for UPS and FedEx. And I've been using the two services for probably the last 3 or 4 months now, and it's opened up a bunch of different categories for me that I normally wouldn't touch. Kitchen appliances being one of them. Like sandwich presses are something that I normally wouldn't touch, but I can ship a sandwich press coast to coast with its box for like $22 through UPS now. The rates are incredibly aggressive, so don't be afraid to start going after larger items. And I've always talked about this. I said, small items are going to be the way to go. That's the way that I make most of my money, yada, yada, yada. But I'm kind of starting to gravitate away from first class as well as low ASP, ASP being your average sale price. I've made the decision recently that I will no longer pick up and list an item that would make me less than a $20 profit, with the exception of goods that I'm buying in quantity. So if I'm getting 10 or 20 of something and it's, $8 profit per item, but 20 times over $180, sure, I'll take that. And the reason is the number of times that I have to work with the item, the number of times that I have to touch the item. When I'm in the store, I have to pick it up, inspect it, I have to price the item, I have to put it in the cart, I have to pay for the item, bring it home, clean it, stage it, photograph it, list it, move it from there to the warehouse shelf, pull it down, pack it, and then drive that bad boy to the post office. I'm not going to do all of that work for less than $20 an item. It just doesn't make any sense to me anymore, because the average item I have to touch for, somewhere in the area of 10 to 15 minutes after everything's said and done. So as our costs start to accelerate due to eBay, due to shipping, due to other varying factors, ask yourself, how much money do you need to make per item? One of those things that can really help with those margins is using FedEx and UPS. But I also wanted to share a little thing. I'm dialing back how much FedEx I'm using as well, due to the fact that some people that I know have been getting hit with extra FedEx bills lately. They've been getting hit with reboxing fees. They've been getting hit with fees for having to add more fill. Like they're literally opening up items, adding more packing material, closing them up, and then invoicing the customer for that. Or opening it up and saying, this isn't a qualified shipping box. pulling it out, reboxing it, adding the supplies, and then charging you extra on your cost. If you haven't gone through yet, go to your eBay invoice. If you need help locating it, let me know. Go through to your eBay invoice, download that bad boy as a CSV, and start scrolling through it. You will be surprised. You might have some extra cost. The story that I was talking about now, my buddy, he incurred an extra $60 cost on a single package to have them do all that nonsense to it. And obviously it changed the DIMs, and that ended up costing him more as well. So I'm kind of done with FedEx. I'll pay the extra 50 cents or $1 more to be able to use UPS. And I'm not telling you that you should too, but just err on the side of caution. Make sure you go back through and check your stuff just to make sure you don't get hit with any extra cost along the way. Fair? Fair. So the other thing too, this is kind of shocking that I'm going to say this, I'm also kind of done with pirate ship as well. And the reason is that the cost of doing business on pirate ship is almost not worth it anymore. Cubic shipping is no longer a huge savings like it used to be. And I'm like this close away from deleting my cubic shipping videos because at one point there was a huge amount of savings to be had by using cubic shipping. Now the average cubic shipping savings is somewhere between like 50 cents and $1.50. There's very rarely going to be a scenario where you're going to be saving more than a few bucks. Opposed to using a flat rate box, or opposed to using FedEx or UPS. The days of pirate ship cubic being a valuable asset are kind of gone. I've come to notice now that I might look up and cross-check half a dozen items, and maybe only one, at most two, are actually going to be cheaper doing cubic. So I'm ending up spending the time looking at 4 more items than I'm actually going to send out, and that time loss is it's actually costing me the value of the money that I'm saving on the other 2. So if I have to retype in package information for 6 packages and only 2 of them are getting sent out, I'm losing all that time on those other ones. So after I run out of money in my pirate ship account, I think they draft $100 at a time, I think I'm about ready to close up my account. On top of that, priority shipping is cheaper on eBay still. It's like 3% cheaper. So more often than not, if I go to pirate ship and it's like, oh no, priority is going to be the cheapest, I have to go right back to eBay and then buy that same label over there. So I'm this close to giving up pirate ship, and I would tell you, just kind of look over your inventory and see, as you're typing your information, and is it really saving you that much money and saving you that much time? In my situation, it's not anymore. So just kind of evaluate that and make the best decision for yourself. Another change with pirate ship that if you didn't check your email last week, you might have completely missed, is that pirate ship has international shipping services. They had a program called Simple Export Rate. Now, they still have that program. It's still available, but they completely changed how it worked. Before, you would pay for your shipping, and then that package, you would get a tracking number, it would get exported to eBay, then that package would get sent directly from your postal station to the international receiver. Now they've changed it, and now it's exactly like Global Ship Program with eBay, but it's not run through Pitney Bowes. I think it's called Atlantia or something to that effect. I didn't look into it, but they ship it. You have to ship it to a warehouse facility, and then that warehouse facility receives it and then does the second end delivery to the consumer. The problem is you don't get the same safeguards that you get from eBay's Global Ship Program because it's all within the same blanket. And they have a glitch right now within the system. And I contacted them about this, and their technical team is looking into it. And I'm really not satisfied with their answers about it. But they have a glitch right now to where they're only kicking over the original tracking number to eBay. So I have the tracking number from me to the warehouse, but they never upload or never adjust the tracking from the warehouse to the consumer. So on my end, it shows delivery confirmed to the warehouse, but it's not showing delivery confirmed to the consumer, which puts me in a bit of a pickle in the event that the item doesn't arrive, because guess what? The tracking doesn't show that I actually delivered to the consumer. It creates a whole big old headache having to go get that tracking information and then resolve out that package. So just be mindful of that. Mr. Exquisite says, don't forget, no insurance with simple export as well. You have to buy extra insurance. Yes, if you're working with large dollar stuff, you do have to buy insurance as well if you need it. I generally don't insure much international stuff. I don't know, call me crazy, but I haven't had much issues. I know some people who will say, I will not. I've got a buddy who's a vendor. He does millions of dollars a year, and he says, I will not ship international. I don't care how much they're going to spend. I don't care how much they're going to spend over retail. They could give me double the price of the good. I'm not going to ship international, and that just kind of blows my mind. Okay, but yeah, just be careful. Be careful if you're going to do that. I would say stick with Global Ship Program, personally. Okay, big story time. Hope you're ready for this. We're going to talk about how someone is attempting to scam me for $1,000. And this is not clickbaity. This is not BS. This is a wild story. And I've been waiting to share it. So, I have a lot of Pokemon cards, and one of the cards that I'm heavily invested into, or one of the products, is the Vivid Voltage Booster Box, and you can see one back there. I have probably 100 of these bad boys, and I'm thrilled to have them. They are skyrocketing in value. As of today, they have crested $300 a box on TCG Player. I haven't talked this much in weeks. So, they're cresting $300 a box. I am thrilled. Well, 2 weeks ago, I'm scrolling through the eBays and I see a listing for one. And the seller looks okay, maybe like 120 feedback, doesn't have a picture on his icon, doesn't have any other items listed. The listing looks fine. It's for Vivid Voltage booster boxes. He had 9 available, 1 sold, 8 remaining. And I said, you know what? Screw it. I have concierge service. I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger on this. So I go ahead and I buy the 8 units. And I think they were like $110 at the time. Now, bear in mind, market value at the time was about $160 a box. And, you know, maybe only a week and a half earlier, they were $110. So I'm like, this isn't too anomalous. Maybe somebody's just looking to short sale and dump inventory, and just right place, right time. So I buy them up. About a week passes, and I go to check on the listing. Hadn't looked at it at all. I've been buying a bunch of stuff recently. I go back and I look, and it says, waiting to receive funds, payment not accepted. And the person, I'd sent them the money, but they didn't accept the money, which led me to believe, I'm like, well, maybe they put the wrong email in. Maybe they got a new PayPal account, something. Maybe there's some issue with the bank and they have to receive the funds that way. I said, this is too fishy. So I call eBay up and I say, hey, what's going on? They say, give it a couple more days. So I call them back in 2 more days and I say, hey, it says payment accepted. It's been 10 days now. I don't have a shipped item. What can we do? They said, we'll go ahead and open a case on our end for you. And we'll request that they provide the tracking information. I said, great. So the day goes on, and I probably called in around noon. At 4 o'clock, maybe 4:30, he responds to the case. And mind you, I have messaged him twice now before this. Just nice general messages. Hey, just want to see if anything's wrong. It says payment pending. If you need assistance with shipping, let me know. If you need help figuring out how to do it, let me know. I'm here for you. What can we do to smooth this out? And I messaged him 2 times asking for tracking. The moment he gets that case, a couple hours pass, 4:30 p.m., he adds tracking information. He says, here's the tracking number, adds it to the item, and guess what that tracking number says? The tracking number says that the item, and we'll just talk in the context of that day. It is 4:30 that day. The tracking number stated that the item has been delivered to my house at 2:30 that day, to my front door. Delivered Bakersfield 93309 to my front door. And I say, something doesn't seem right here, because I'm at my house and I've been at my house all day, and I have a sign on my front door that says, big sign, big print laminated, do not leave packages at my door. And you know what else doesn't sound right? I installed a camera because a patron had sent me an item and the item got stolen off my door. So I installed a Ring camera on my front door, and I get notified anytime somebody sets foot near my front yard and starts recording video, and my camera didn't go off at 2:30. Okay, so I'm looking at the situation. I'm like, something is clearly wrong here. Okay, so I reach out to one of my buddies, and he's the guy who had a package stolen. He's been in contact with the postmaster, and I said, hey, I'm having a serious issue. Something is fishy here. I go back and I look at the tracking number that the guy had provided me, and the tracking number, something was off about it. Because those of you who sell on eBay and you print your own shipping labels, you know what the tracking numbers look like. 9400 and then a bunch of other tracking numbers. Those are the labels that we see. We've seen that first 4 digits for the last, I don't know, half a decade now. The number started, it was like 9357. And I'm like, this is a really fucky, number to have on this label. So I reach out to him. I say, hey, something's going on here. I don't know what it is. Can you see what's going on with this tracking number? Maybe let your friend know. I don't know if we're having packages stolen. I don't know if this is an inside job. I don't know if somebody knows me and you and what's going on here. And he looks into the tracking number. Now, on my end as a buyer, if I go to USPS.com and I punch in the tracking number, you know what the tracking number says? It said it was delivered or shipped on the 19th, and this day of, it was the 20th. It says shipped out on the 19th from an Amazon warehouse, delivered on the 20th at 2:34 p.m. to Bakersfield 93309. But what the interesting thing is with tracking and what we can see is we can only see that it was delivered to the zip code. Now, zip code scams have been going on here and there for a little while, and there's a bunch of different iterations of it, but you're not going to really believe where this one's going to go. So I ask my friend, I say, hey, can you ask your postmaster friend what the heck is going on here? So they punch in all the information and they say, well, the GPS tracking says that the package was delivered to 801 Del Rio Road, 93309 Bakersfield. And guess what? I don't live there. So what do? I drive across town and I knock on the door. Del Rio, 801 93309. I say, hey, sorry to be a bother, but I think I'm in the middle of a scam right now. Do you think you might be able to help me out? I'm like, well, what's going on? And I'm like, I have solid belief that a package weighing 17 pounds worth $1,000 may have been delivered to your house. And this wasn't a cheap part of town. There was a little bit of value, a little bit of money in this town. And she's like, I didn't get anything that big, but we have a lot of packages shipped here, almost every day. I'm like, well, how many? She's like, well, we probably get 3 or 4 packages a day, every single day. I'm like, okay. Do you have anything that was like a bigger package? She's like, we don't have anything that fits that description. I say, can I get your phone number? So maybe I can follow up with you. And I'll send you a text message right now because I need to do some investigation. She's like, yeah, sure, that's fine. My son works for USPS. Maybe he can help you out. Lovely. Thank you. I go home, I message the person, and guess what? 2 hours later, I get a message back from the son. He calls me up first. And he says, hey, you're not going to believe this, but you sent me over that tracking number. We actually have a package here with that tracking number. I'm like, lovely, great. I'm like, does it say my name on it? He's like, nope. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, it's actually a package that we ordered. It was a gift sent by my sister for a baby shower we're having. I say, no way. I'm like, could you do me a favor and send me over the label? And guess what he does? He sends me over a label that has my tracking number on it that the seller added to eBay on the package. And I say, can you open the package for me and show me the contents? He opens it up. There's the gift receipt. It's some type of breast pump something and a whole bunch of air peanuts. And it's perfect. It's perfect. It's the box. He cut it open. Show me the tracking on top, cut it open, there's the contents, open the other flap, there's the contents. But my tracking number was on the front of that package. And I call him back and I say, what the heck is going on? He's like, well, and you guys are going to love this because he's a USPS employee. He's like, we actually got an email about this the other day. And, it's just something that we just learned about within the last 48 hours. I'm like, well, what's going on? He says, there's this new scam going on where criminals are able to get tracking numbers somewhere either on like the dark web, or there's my kind of summation is that there's a community of people buying and selling tracking numbers on the open market with the specific intent of scamming people. And how is this possible, though? How is it possible to have a specific zip-coded tracking number? Well, it only takes a couple of volume Amazon sellers to be able to get tracking numbers across the course of, let's say, a week. Okay, you leave the money pending until you get a sale within that zip code, and then boom, now you have a tracking number for that zip code, and you rinse, wash, repeat, and you attach that tracking number on there. So what he did was he got a tracking number either through a friend, either through some type of black market for tracking information. But this is a brand new scam that USPS is aware of, where tracking numbers are being stolen and applied to legitimate orders in order to show completed transactions. Now, here's the thing. If you ordered an item and you had it delivered to your house sometime between Christmas and now, and you can say, unequivocally, I know for a fact that this item didn't come to my house. I have camera footage. I have everything. Contact your postmaster and say, give me the GPS information for where that package went. Okay. I'm not saying you should go to another person's house, okay, and knock on their door. Obviously, err on the side of caution, and you're not going to get the same resolution that I did. I consider myself very lucky, because otherwise, what would have happened? I would have been sitting there thinking, what? Someone stole it off my porch, right? That's the logical conclusion. But because I was fortunate enough to have the help of a friend who was able to contact somebody to get the GPS information, I went straight to eBay and I said, hey, this is what's going on. And they said, you know what? This is starting to become a little bit of a problem. And I'm like, really? She's like, yeah, you're the second person today to call with the exact same thing. And I'm like, how long have you guys been briefed on this situation? And I'm very fortunate that I have concierge. And that's because you lovely people helped assist me in the cost of going during 2019 eBay Open. And I was gifted eBay concierge for attending that event. If I didn't have concierge and I didn't get the benefit of talking to an American representative, there's not a chance in hell I would have gotten any assistance on this matter. So I say, how long has this been going on? She's like, well, we've been aware of this situation since Christmas. And I say, well, what are the steps are we taking to resolve it? She's like, well, we don't actually have an answer for that yet. We're dealing on it with a case-by-case basis. But the fact that you have supporting documents will really help us. Now, eBay is generally, on the concierge level, very good about giving clear support for concierge members. And they will say things to the effect of, we will get you taken care of. We will see to it that a good resolution comes your way. Or don't worry about anything. You're going to be fine. But the wording that she used, okay, is she's like, the supporting documents will help with this situation. There is no guarantee on my end, even with all the supporting documents that I have, that I might be able to get my money back. So I'm going to keep you posted as far as what happens with this scam. Okay. This is a very robust situation though, because if this is happening on eBay, it means it's going to happen on Mercari. It's going to happen on Etsy. These scammers, they're not dumb. Okay. You can buy eBay accounts. You can go to eBay buy and sell account on Facebook, and there's a Facebook page. Hundreds of accounts for sale right now with limits, $50,000 limits, 1,000 feedback. I can buy an account today, $60. And then I just drop in and then I start putting up phony listings, and then I start sending out scamming tracking information. And here's where the issue gets worse. Okay. All I have to do is, once I find your address, punch it into Google Maps. And please don't go do this. Don't go be a scumbag. Figure out what your address is. Deliver a bogus package to your neighbor. Remember when people were getting seeds in the mail? Do you remember this? Seeds. I received Magic the Gathering cards in the mail. I was unknowingly the other half of a scam for someone. I receive a garbage item that costs them $1. Guess what? They got a live tracking number out of it. And then what happens with that live tracking? It is then attached to another item within the exact same zip code and used as a confirmation. Now, USPS is fully aware of this, but where do we go from here? I mean, they have to add some level of true to the front door delivery tracking system and not just delivered to your zip code. That is not satisfactory. So I'm going to keep everyone posted as far as what's happening with this situation. Hopefully I'll get my money back, but I guess in the time being, be very careful who you do business with. If a deal seems too good to be true, it probably is. If a seller account looks a little bit suspicious, pay 5% more, pay 10% more, and do business with the next person in line. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Be careful out there. Let me take a look at these comments. Mike T says, if you were just the average eBay buyer, you would have completely lost this case. eBay would have claimed that since it reads delivered, there's not much you can do. Good thing you were diligent. And that is 100%. Average eBayer would have been taken to Pound Town. He would have lost $1,000, and that would have been end of story. End of story. So I provided eBay with as much information as I could. And I told them, I'm like, you guys need to look at and see if there's any correlation between these tracking numbers and where these tracking numbers are coming from that can be used to try and corroborate other people's stories when they say they didn't receive an item. Because I had an issue where an item was genuinely stolen off my porch the other day. This husky Hispanic broad, who I'm shocked even made it back to the car under her own power, stole 2 air filters off my front porch. And they were the cheapest, crummiest air filters. They were like $9 air filters. And she rolled her way back to the car, smile on her face. And then she took this I have a big foam block that I have out on my front porch. And we use it to store like really cold stuff that we need to transport for a few days. Like if we're going on a big trip or something. And I didn't have space in the garage, so I left it outside. She stole that too. Okay. So if I didn't have that camera and, I have no way to prove on my end, get yourself a ring. First thing you can do, get yourself a ring. They're $80 and it costs $3 a month to be able to record the clips, and you can review it anytime you want. I can see the look out my front door anytime, but make sure you're following reputable buyers or reputable sellers. Make sure you know when your packages are coming in. Secure your orders when possible. We got a comment from Mouse. Welcome to the channel. Never seen you here before. Happy to have you. Says, get it, Jay. Hustle, my friend. Good to know that I'm not the only one grinding on a Sunday. This is the guy you were speaking up via message today on Facebook. Speak with you soon. Hey, Mouse, happy to have you. Yeah, I grind 7 days a week. That's what we got to do. But I'm happy that you're here. Hopefully you're learning something today. We're going to be covering some pickups in a bit. If you want to learn about thrifting, there's a lot to learn there. And if you have any questions regarding business, I know you're talking about starting up your brand or scaling your brand. Now is a great time to ask them, and we can help some other people out at the same time. So that's what's going on with that. Again, live Q&A. Happy to hear your questions tonight. What else do we got to talk about? Etsy is now doing a reserve system. We talked about this first maybe 3-4 months ago, and they're barely getting around to implementing it now. If you're a seller on Etsy, odds are you're not going to be affected by it. They say it's going to be less than 1% of sellers. Odds are we're looking at fresh account, trouble sellers, as well as sellers coming back to the platform for the first time in over 90 days. Those are the people that are going to be seeing holds. They haven't declared specifically how much the hold amount is going to be, but if I was a gambling man, I'm probably going to say it's going to be somewhere in the range of 80%, and you will be provided just enough to cover the cost of shipping until the item gets into the buyer's hands. Got to move this water around. Little tight in here. Okay, other news. Guys, do not forget to order your shipping supplies. We are in Q1. Go through, evaluate your shelf of packing materials, see what you actually need, get that order placed sooner rather than later. I don't know if anyone knows this, but the eBay poly bubble mailers are now decent again. That or we got some from the back of the warehouse. eBay made a switch over to these white ones, and they're absolute garbage. They tear. They don't even stick to themselves. I put a label on. I've been using the same labels for a decade. I slap a label on, you can just peel it right off. It just doesn't even stick to the mailer anymore. You kind of got to put a little tape down. You got to scratch it down and into place. Apparently, they went back to the classic gray ones because enough people complained. But if you order the supplies and you get the garbage ones in the mail, immediately open up a return request. Just say, I don't want these. These are garbage. Send them right back to them, and they have to take them. They got to have free returns on. But make sure you get those in. And then manage payments. Guys, manage payments. We talked about this before. I said, hey, when is China going to have to deal with managed payments? And we finally got our answer. We have a quote here. We are creating a modern managed marketplace. Taking control of payments process on our platform is a key component of our strategy to enhance the eBay experience by breaking down barriers and removing complexities for our customers. There is nothing better than having to learn an entirely new system after doing business with a company for 20 years. That is definitely removing the complexity for me and my customers. Sellers in Greater China place a high value on convenient and seamless selling experience on eBay sites across the globe, and they typically manage multiple accounts and need streamlined operations. The offering will drive significant efficiencies and benefits for our customers, including helping our buyers pay the way they want. We will transition all sellers in coming months and have designed our process with our sellers in mind so they can easily and quickly take advantage of the important change. So this change is not only affecting sellers, but it's affecting buyers as well. Now, I never ever in my life, 15 years that I've been selling on eBay, had anyone come to me and say, you know what, the only thing that's really keeping me from buying on eBay is that there's just not the payment options that I want. Has anyone ever heard that? No one has ever said that. I kind of hate how these people talk. It's very political, mumbo jumbo, smooth it over, make it sound pretty for the shareholders, and hopefully the people that this actually impacts will like the complexity of the text and just kind of smile and move along. But it's coming to them. China sellers are going to have to start working their way across over in April. It was really interesting to see, too. eBay had stated, I believe it was 42,000 sellers have moved over to managed payments so far, and of that, a total savings of $17 million in fees have been saved. And I looked at that, I'm like, no way that's accurate. That can't be right. That is an average saving of $404 per seller on managed payments. Now, I'll tell you why that isn't right, okay? This, and nobody's going to talk about this, this takes into account early discounted fees for early adopters, and there is a grossly disproportionate number of high volume sellers in that 42,000 sellers. A majority of these, the first people brought on board, the first 6 months of managed payments were accounts that were doing over $500,000 all the way up to your $10, $20, $30 million mega sellers. So when we factor all that in, that's how we get to a number of $404. However, if we look at the average seller on a month-by-month basis, factoring in today's real numbers, after 30 days, even with the velocity that I'm doing, $10,000 to $15,000 worth of sales, I'm going to be lucky if I see a $50 difference from my previous bill. But the average seller isn't going to see anything like that. So from what I've seen, because eBay has been so gosh darn ambiguous with how much the actual fees will be, it's really hard to tell for the average person, am I actually saving money? Let me ask you guys, is anyone saving money on managed payments? Do you think you're saving money? Do you know you're saving money? Do you know you're paying more? I know that I'm missing out on money because I can't sell my lurid, filthy 8mm pornography that I picked up the other day. I got $2,500 worth of adult goods I can no longer sell on the platform because the good people over at Audion have deemed my goods to be unsaleable on the platform. And we've seen this happen before. We saw Visa and MasterCard do this with vaping goods and just kind of yanked their ability to make money on them. We've seen it happen with CBD products with Visa and MasterCard. We've seen eBay do their own regulatory game with things that can be construed as glorifying slavery or Confederate flags and stuff to that effect. I don't know. I don't like people telling me what I can and can't do, and I don't like knowing if I'm actually paying more money or not. Lastly, eBay announces a universal listing experience across all platforms. I'm kind of excited about this. It's about damn time. The fact that we have to juggle between listing on our phone, listing on an iPad, or listing on a PC, and trying to figure out which one is the fastest method for us, they should all be relative. One shouldn't be far superior to the other. The time efficiency shouldn't be derived from our tactile ability to navigate through the app or the device. They really should all be similar the whole way through and through. Mr. Exquisite says, I've saved an average of 0.2% on every item. That's pretty exact. Does it help? I guess. Yes, it does. Now here, let me ask you this though. I have heard that some people are no longer able to pay their eBay bill using their credit card or their debit card where they get a cashback bonus. Because a lot of people like me, I would get my eBay bill, $1,000 eBay bill, and I would pay it with a 2% card where I would pay my bill and guess what? I'd get 2%, $20, I would get that right back just for using that card to pay that bill. So are you still able to receive your compensation, your 2% back by paying that way? Do you still get that? If you don't, it kind of eliminates the entire discount that you're actually getting. Tiny Bits, Mercari now offers Smart Post. Don't know why you'd use it, but it's there. Smart Post is a garbage product. eBay is looking to sell off eBay Korea. They are dying in that region. I think that is where Jingdong.com and there's another one. There's two websites out there that are competing for the Korean base. Jingdong and what's the other one? Oh man, I'll give big brownie points to anyone if they can remember the name of that other site. JD and man, this is what happens when you don't do a show for a month or two. It doesn't surprise me that eBay is losing a footing over in Korea. The Korea competitors are absolutely beautiful. If you haven't checked out their sites, I strongly recommend you do. They got video product descriptions. I don't, give me a guess, guys. Do you think eBay will see video product descriptions in 2021? I don't know. I don't know if we're going to see it like where you actually click on the image and the video starts playing. Even Walmart has that at this point. They got interactive videos. You can go check out the Gotta Go Live Flamingo. Click on it. It'll play the music. You can see the whole pooping process with the Gotta Go Live Flamingo. It's an interesting toy. But when you see the quality of the listings on Walmart compared to eBay, it's night and day right now. Okay, guys, I got some pickups. I got some items I'm going to show you. We're going to do this for a little bit. I've been talking my head off. Again, if you have any questions, happy to take them. Let's look at some items. Let me know your thoughts. Did you guys enjoy the news? I know it's been a while since I've been here. Starting off hot. And guys, don't forget, if you're a patron, if you don't know what it is, check this out. You can support the show. I don't know how often I'm going to do this, but I will tell you, you're going to support me, the page. I'm going to keep making standalone videos, maybe commentary stuff. If you're a patron and you see an item like this adorable Tokidoki X Hello Kitty item, you can buy it at cost. We'll be happy to ship it out to you. This item is a little bit somber for me because it reminds me of my friend Susan, who unfortunately I haven't heard from in almost a year. I'm worried about her and cancer, sadly, but hopefully she's doing well out there and she'll be okay. But she loved the Tokidoki stuff, and I'll be honest with you, it doesn't show up often. We paid a whopping $3.99 for it. We ended up spending a minute or two looking it up later the day. This is about a $50 bag. It's in pretty darn good condition, and it is super cute. Full embellishment the whole way around. It's got a nice little charm on there, too. It only shows light signs of wear on the strap, but that could probably be cleaned up, or you could even switch the strap out for almost anything else. There's no embellishment on the strap either, so great pickup. $4 in, $50 out. The missus, she picked up some skeins and some hanks while we were out. I don't know if you guys are looking for any yarn, but we got quite a bit of it now. Mr. Exquisite says you can make payment on your monthly stores fees, insert fees, the extra ad fees, etc. with a credit card. Your item fees and shipping come out of your balance, similar to Amazon. So your final value fees, right? Insert fees and the extra ad fees. Okay, so your final value fees, which is, I believe it to be the bulk of the money that you spend, you can no longer get your 2% back on, correct? If I'm understanding that right. But today I learned that things are, if they're too big, they're not skeins anymore and they're hanks. Go figure. We picked this one up too. She wanted to get more yarn. She's going to be doing some arts and crafts and stuff like that. So without your 2% back on your final value fee, are you actually saving money on managed payments, or are you losing more money? We got a Marvi Uchida. This is a heart-shaped punch in here. It's the main reason I got this bag. This punch is worth about $20 as long as it's, as long as it works, which it should. And then we got just a bunch of extra stuff for arts and crafts included for free, essentially. I picked this up. I'm really proud about finding this item. This is a Home Depot wood vehicle kit. There's a handful of different ones available, and they start at like $30, $40 for these things. This one, there's no visible examples of it online. There's no completed examples within the last 90 days. Something like this, I could comfortably get $49.99 for. We're into this one. This is a brand new one too. I cut the tape just to inspect the interior, and I'm going to put that its open box on the listing. We paid a whopping $4.99. It's going to need a little bit of a wipe up on the front, but $4.99 in, we're expecting to get 50 out. It's going to cost maybe $10 in fees, or $10 in shipping to get it out the door. I got one of these. I don't know if you've ever seen these before. This is a Dot Shot. The industrial grade Dot Shot Pro applies glue dots, adhesive products anywhere on anything with a fast loading design and ergonomically correct. I read that right here. But we got this. We paid $4.99 for it. One with the box like this. You can expect to get anywhere between $50 to $60 for it. I got 2 of these over the last week, both in the box, both in great condition. Very excited about that. I love being able to list in quantity, but this is certainly an in-demand product. If you come across them, pick them up, get them if you can get them for cheap. Now, I normally don't go after this category, but whenever I see really interesting ones, I stop and I get them. This is a Rugrats, Nickelodeon, or just, Nickelodeon, because there's Hey Arnold, Rugrats, Ren and Stimpy. I see Raptar on there as well. I see Chucky. Very, very cute. This is Scrubs. This is a top. And this is official. Always make sure that they're official when you're going for this specific type of, cartoony, known brand and stuff like that. There's no examples of this online, but similar Rugrats apparel have sold anywhere between $20 and $22. The fact that this is pink, I don't think it's unreasonable that I can ask $29.99 on this and get this out the door. Plus, it's a really nice universal size, and the mediums, it's always great. Mediums, I'd probably say larges are going to be a little bit better for you, but mediums are great as well. Oh, and I think I paid $2.50 for it. This guy is adorable. This is a Folk Mantis puppet. And this is one of the earlier versions. It's got very, very soft fur on it. There's a couple of different iterations of this. If you haven't seen this brand before, go ahead and get yourself familiar with this tag. Folk Mantis. I say Folk Mantis. I thought it was that for a long time, but it's Folk Mantis. These puppets are always great to have. You do want to check for condition issues. These noses, this is a kind of like a faux leather that they have. You'll see it on the noses. You'll see it sometimes they do the paws with that, or they'll see the nails. They'll do the nails on like the bear puppets with that. These do chip, and these do take damage. In storage, especially when they dry out or they're too old. So you can even see it's got some of the similar accenting around the eyes as well. This one, early edition, this is a $30 puppet. Again, stuffed animals, so much easy money to make in stuffed animals. One of the key takeaways that I want people to get from that video that I released earlier today, and again, please go check it out. I really, really loved making that video. It's not my normal content, but if you want to hear me talk about something that I'm passionate about, and you want to see more interesting and diverse content, you'll go back and watch it. One of the biggest things that I want people to take away from it is that that if you don't have much money, do not invest in Pokemon, because you can make a hell of a lot more money just going out and doing thrifting. And I really mean that, because I have people come to me who have no right to be talking to me on the phone about investing. They have maybe $1,000, and they're like, Jay, what's the best thing that I can get right now with $1,000 that has the potential to go up in value and then I can sell later? And I have to tell these people, I'm sorry, you just don't have enough money. to be playing within this market right now, because you can't get a wide enough portfolio to mitigate your losses, in the event that there are losses. But if you want to make money, just go to a thrift store. It's that easy. This is an interesting one. This is a Kid Connects Sesame Street. This is an Elmo building kit. On the inside, I think it's only 14 pieces. They're all big and chunky. And this set in good condition, which I consider this one to be good condition, is about $25, maybe as much as $30, depending on your competition and the quality that the effort that you put into taking great photos and listing this right. I can't stress this enough. My sales velocity has gone through the roof, and I am outselling my peers price point wise on a whole shed load of items, because I take gorgeous photos that are a true reflection of the item. I don't do background removal. I don't do like heavy color grading where I like jam the contrast way up. I take just beautiful photos that are true to life, that really encourage the sale. You want to have your item say, wow, that's really cool looking. I want to own that. Okay. And this is going to be a fun one. And I'll post a picture to Bolorama when I take it. Easy money. I think I paid $2, maybe $4 for this item. It's a nice one. It'll sell fast. I can't say enough nice things about the game Slithario. This is a Slithario. This is an extra large one of the worms. And if you haven't played the game, just type in slither.io, slither.io in your browser, and it will take you to the game, free to play, tons of fun. This guy is worth roughly $40, and you'll see other iterations, different skins and patterns and designs. The more interesting the design, the more money you're going to get. These are kind of overlooked. People didn't really want these when they came out. They kind of thought it was dumb, but now it's kind of coming into favor again, and people do want these, and they're actually hard to come by. If you go online right now and type in Slither or Slither.io plush, there's not a ton of examples on the internet. So definitely a great pickup at $2. One that continues to elude me as far as why they're worth anything at all is these 20-question electronic games. This one has functional batteries. I wouldn't recommend buying one of these if it doesn't turn on inside the packaging. I'm not going to turn it on just for the sake of I don't want to drain the batteries further. I want the customer to receive it working. These are consistently $25 to $30. Who is buying these? We're talking there's like 10 to 20 of these selling like every single month. I don't know who is buying these or why, but if you find them, they're definitely worth getting. Mr. Exquisite says, I just sold a blue one for $29.99. This is what I'm talking about. I don't know who is buying. They're not, I guess it's a fun, interesting concept, but you can download an app that does the same thing, but I don't know. Maybe if you're up at a cabin and you're saying, we're not bringing any damn cell phones, and you got to bring board games and old school electronics, that might be fun. I'm not saying you can't enjoy it. I just don't know who the target demographic is that's buying these. Like if it was a Radica Solitaire, I could tell you, it's going to be senior citizens that are going after those. But this, I just don't know. I also picked up a brand new copy of The Perceptive Detective. And these are a special line of puzzles made by the Impossible Puzzle Company, where you read a book. The booklets include, it's like 20 or 30 smaller size pages. You then complete the puzzle, and then you solve the mystery. And it's like a 3-stage process. These are coming back into favor. Obviously, puzzles as a whole are in favor right now, but these have been discontinued for a while. As far as I know, they haven't made anything new. This is from 1994. This is about $45 for this iteration. Some iterations are down as low as $25. Maybe $18 for a used one, but the new ones, they really do start at around $30, $32 and then go up from there. I've seen some as high as $60. This is a brilliant example of this one. I might even be able to get more for it just because the condition is so nice on it. And you really do not find them often like this. If you're not sure if it's new, this is one that has just tongue and groove flaps on it. You can open it up. You can check it out. Let me see if this... Yeah, look at that. Beautiful, beautiful graphics on this. You can open it up, and it should be flat packed, lots of puzzle dust, and then a bag clip on the end. So if you see one, that's what you want to look for. I paid maybe $3 for it. I have a Wii power supply, and I have no clue where this came from. So we'll be selling that. I couldn't find a comp on this, but I felt I would be a little bit upset if I left it behind. If you've ever seen one of these, let me know. This is a Bar S, shiny, holographic looking, hollow, ultra rare, Bar S tin or aluminum lunchbox. It's in fair condition. You can see where they scratched the tag off at the bottom. I'm sure it was part of some promotional thing at a grocery store, or maybe some Bar S event, but maybe Bar S trade show. I have no clue, but I paid $1 for it. I expect to list it for $30 unless randomly a comp shows up and it turns out to be less. But I just thought it was so darn interesting. At $1, I can't see me not making a profit on it. Pick this up too. This is a Keto Art food meat grinder, two-sided grinding blade. Not that impressive looking. I opened it up. All the contents are brand new on the inside. This is an item that was heavily represented on Amazon. It even has an Amazon FBA label on the bottom. I don't know if they got in trouble and they had to pull them back for marketing it that way, but these are on Amazon for $60. They're on eBay for about $35 or $40. This would actually be a great candidate for cubic based on the weight and size, but we'll see what happens. They like I said, $35, maybe $40 depending on the day of the week. $4 in on that. Here's another great item. This is a Hedwig. That's right, Hedwig, right? It's a Hedwig puppet, and it's got the little spin rod on the inside, so she can stare you down. Yeah, and this is official. This is actual Harry Potter merchandise. They're not worth a ton. I think they're about $20. There's some if anyone has had one of these, you can throw me a bone here. It feels like there's a battery pack here in the back, but there is no way to get inside of this. And I've looked extensively, unless I'm completely missing it. Maybe the head pops off or something. I have no clue. But if you have any information, I'd appreciate it. Darren, if you're interested in this, just let me know. I'll fire it out to you at cost. I think I'm into this one for, I think I paid $4. But the only reason I paid so much on something only worth about $20 is because this is a guaranteed sale. Every one of these that goes up online with a great photo and a good price, they sell out the door, 20, 25, $30, somewhere in there. So I just went ahead and scooped it up, and it's in great shape. Even the coloring on the toes is there as well. It's white. It's like shedding right now, but it's very, very soft to the touch. And I have to stress this for people too. If you're dabbling in the plush market, make sure your plushes don't feel like trash. Okay, no matted fur. You want it to be soft and clean. Okay, you want a great customer experience when they receive it. So earlier when I said low ASP items, I said I'm not going to deal with them. Here is a great example of one that I will deal with because I got it in quantity. This is a 3-pack of medium pocket Post-it branded simple organization pockets. The last 3 on eBay sold for, I want to say $11.99, and there is currently none available online right now, which means my list price will be $14.99 on these. And I got 6 of them, and I paid $3.99. So in this situation, I am doing one listing, and I'm going to get I'm $4 in. We're going to have 15 at 6, 60, 90. We got $90 out. It's going to cost probably, let's just say $4 each to ship. 4 at 6, 24. 90 minus 24 puts us at, $66? And then my base cost of $4 puts us at $62. And then minus fees at 15% on $90, which is roughly $12 off 42. So this is a $30 profit on a $4 buy, and then the cost of mailers, which is about $1. So I'm fine making $30 on this, maybe even 30. Maybe I'll jam it a little bit higher and make 35, put them for $15.99 or something like that. But I do want to stress this too. You should be able to do quick math on your buys, especially when you're in the store, to make sure that they're worth their time. I actually ran into somebody the other day when I was out thrifting, and they were buying stuff on hunches. They're like, I think that I can make some good money on this item. And I'm like, that's really not the best way to go about it. I'm like, why don't you just pull out your app and look it up and see what it's worth? That should be a button which activates owl noises and sound effects. I couldn't find a button. I'm telling you, I couldn't find anything to squeeze. I couldn't find... It feels like there's like almost like a knobby end on it. But there's no button as far as I can tell. I feel like wires. But there's genuinely not a... I couldn't find a button inside of here. Maybe it's on the knob or something? Yeah, I got nothing, buddy. I have no clue how you're supposed to... I'm squeezing it, I'm pressing it, nothing is happening. No clue. Maybe it's an... I thought maybe it was an analog one, but nope. Pick these up. This is a nice assortment of Brother ink cartridges. $4. Kind of like the Epson style where they're vacuum sealed, so I feel a little bit more confident in buying these. $4 in. Believe it or not, I expect to get over $100 out. These ones are a little bit harder to come by than some of those Epson ones that you might see. I picked up some books as well. They were just so cheap I couldn't say no to them. These are graphic novels for like the Treehouse of Horror series. I got 2 Simpsons ones. Very happy to have these. I'm just going to add them to my collection. I'll probably even read through them. Side note, has anyone stopped and watched The Simpsons recently? I don't know if it's on Netflix or Hulu or HBO Max. We have all of them. It was on one of them. And I watched a new episode and... holy cow, is it horrendous. It is one of the worst cartoons I have ever seen in my life, the newest Simpsons. And I apologize if you love The Simpsons. And I don't feel bad for you if you watch it now. I'm just going to tell you, you have horrible taste in programming. Go watch Bob's Burgers or something. But the new Simpsons is utter trash. And I am floored with how they went from such a brilliant show and absolutely ran it into the ground. I dare you. I triple dog dare you to watch an entire episode of that show without hating yourself after. So anything that pays homage to the good days of The Simpsons, I'm happy to have in my collection. And then I also picked this up. This was 50 cents. Pokemon How to Draw. This is like an advanced deluxe drawing book. It says step-by-step instructions on how to draw 70 Pokemon. It's full color too. And I paid 50 cents for it, so I'm happy to have it. It'd be nice if it had a sticker sheet or something, but... yeah, I'll make some bucks on it. I'll put it on Mercari. I'll get 15, 20 bucks. I picked this up. I don't know if you remember, I'd gotten that ornament recently. It was the seedless lemon ornament. I don't feel like pulling this out because it's foam, but on the inside here, there's a seedless lemon collector's glass. These glasses are listed. There's only one available, around 35. There's no recent sold comps. I'll get 30 to 35 bucks for it, but interesting item. You guys know how I feel about kettles. I picked this one up. This is Michael Graves Designs. I just knew that this was really odd looking when I saw it on the shelf, and I'm like, oh, I'm just going to go ahead and snag that. This is worth about $60 or $70. I don't know who is paying for these, but that's what they go for. I paid $4. I paid $6 for this. Yeah, if you see something odd, just look it up. Maybe it's worth the money. There you are. Just a couple more pieces. This one I could actually use some help with. I didn't look it up myself. The missus looked it up. This says Jamba on the front. And on the back, it says Smoothie Influencer since 1990. And we could not find a comp on this shirt. So it's I don't know if it was part of an influencer program, part of an event. It's the Canvas brand, Bella Canvas. They make really nice shirts, really soft shirts. But I didn't go into Terapeak. I didn't do any of that stuff. If you just happen to know about it, let me know. If you don't, no big deal. But cool piece. This one's neat. I was very excited about finding this. This is Johnny Stewart's Deluxe Cassette Tape Game Collar. And yes, Mr. Exquisite, it is a Jamba Juice shirt. On the inside here, we have the 3 tapes. And we have the cassette assembly. And on the inside of this, This smells like Band-Aids. You ever open something up and you're like, man, this smells like Band-Aids from the 70s. If we open it up, beautiful electronics on the inside, super clean, super shiny. I asked this, God, it stinks of Band-Aids. I asked this question, would you buy 12 C batteries to test this one device? I didn't. I'm not going to, what am I going to do with 12 C batteries? I'm never going to need C batteries ever again. I have maybe 4 for testing electronics. This thing takes 12 C batteries. And I don't think there's an external, there's no external power source. There's no way to hook this thing up. And you're wondering probably, it's just a cassette player. Why the hell does it take 12 C batteries? It's because it powers this megaphone that comes with it as well. This is for attracting animals from a distance, I suppose. This combo together is worth $150, and I think I paid 10 or 20 bucks for it. 10 or 15. I wouldn't pay 20. 10 to $15 for this thing. We're going to do 2 more items. Picked up a cool board game. It's called Supremacy. It's worth $50. If you see oddball board games, stuff that isn't of the usual, look it up. You might get some money on it. This is a good one. Maybe we'll do a couple more items. I got these. I normally, you know me, I normally don't buy shoes. And thank you, Barb Walden. She's saying Jamba Juice store, and I'll have to check out the store and see if they got it listed on there. I bought these. I think these are Specialized brand. Yeah, Specialized Recon Mixed. These are biking shoes. So if you see biking shoes, they can be worth good money. Now, bear in mind, these were right next to a pair that was only worth $40. These ones consistently sell for $90. So I went ahead and took a few minutes, cleaned up the tops, got them ready for sale. Buy some biking shoes. Good money. Last item we're going to look at today. This really cool backpack. This is for Bendy and the Ink Machine. I think that's what the game is called. Really neat backpack. This is shaped like, it's supposed to be shaped like a can of soup, bacon soup. It's got the embellishments top and bottom. Yeah, it's cute. A little worse for wear. I took a moment and cleaned it up. A new one of these is worth about $60. I think I paid $3 or $4 for it, and I expect to get 35, 45 bucks, somewhere in there for it. Those are my pickups, guys. That's everything I got. This is the last chance for questions. If anyone wants to ask me anything, get it in now. I don't really have a final thought. I don't know if anyone wants to ask a question that could fuel my final thought. I didn't take the time to put that together right now. I've been having a lot going on in life. A lot of good stuff, don't get me wrong. Life has been grand. Probably beyond my greatest expectations for the beginning of 2021. Man, it's been interesting. Profits are soaring. Life is just kind of all up right now. I'm dieting again, losing weight, preparing to get ready for a move. I'm hoping to move at the end of the year, and I know what you're saying, Jay, you're 12 months out. How are you preparing? Well, I'm trying to save as much money as I can. And you know what helps me really save money? People like Mike T coming in clutch with a $10 bill via Super Chat. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate you, buddy. I really do. Says, thanks for the live show. Great as always. Thank you. I really did try and give it a little bit of extra energy. So thank you for that. And if you want, reach out to me. I always say this, man. Reach out. If you ever want to chat on the phone, anything like that, you want to talk about your store, your brand, whatever. If you want some insider info on what to buy, Pokemon related, let me know. I've been scooping up slabs. And I normally tell people to stay away from these, but I'm kind of getting a position on some items. And if you're looking to match some of my buys, and I've been buying a lot of singles too. I'm kind of targeting a handful of cards right now. Really cool ones too. Nice little Misty's Determination here, as well as booster boxes. Man, oh man, our booster box is going crazy right now. We had to stop selling pre-orders even. We didn't oversell, but we had to stop selling because we were selling so damn many of them. So, but yeah, Thanks again, Mike. I appreciate you. It does mean a lot. It helps me justify continuing to do this because I do it for fun now. I'm not doing it as like a true revenue generation type thing. I really wanted it to be a thing where it's like, oh yeah, I'll sit down 4 days a week and give people some news and some education, and then that's how I'll make my money. But unfortunately, I just don't make enough doing it. You know, we had a lot of patrons drop off, and that's going to happen. So, what should we talk about? Guys, 2021. Are you ready? You ready to do this? Ready to make some money? Try and make things happen for yourself? We got a really interesting period ahead of us. I remember I talked to you all at the end of the year. I remember in the beginning of, or the end of November, I said, hey, it's time to work. It's time to make things happen and time to position yourself for success coming into 2021. I'm really curious how many of you actually hungered down and said, okay, I'm going to get my stuff done. I'm going to get all my items listed. I'm going to make some money. I'm going to make these things happen for myself. I really hope a bunch of you did. And if you didn't, it's really not too late. A lot of people ask too, what my cycle is like now. What am I actually doing with my time? And I spent a fair amount of my time working on Pokemon because, man, I told so many people, and obviously I'm not a prophet. I can't see into the future. I can't guarantee anything to anyone, but I told everyone, I'm like, guys, you really need to look at this item. And I even barked at my roommate too. And I'm like, you really, really need to look at this opportunity. I've never seen the market positioned just like it's positioned right now. And I advertised on the Facebook page, and I advertised on YouTube, and I'm like, guys, please buy some damn booster boxes. And I'll tell you, man, if these trends keep up, you remember, I know I remember it saying at the beginning of the year, last year, 2020, I'm like, I don't know how I'm ever going to afford a house. I don't know how that's ever going to be a thing. But if these trends hold, and your trend is to friend until the end, if they hold, I'm going to be able to buy me a damn house. I would have never thought I'd say that. It just needs to keep going. If you're interested in learning about speculative pop culture investing, reach out to me. But I would say if you're looking to make more money, just keep that hustle going. Just keep working, even on the hard days. Put in those longer hours. And I know I sound like a broken record sometimes, but man, I tell you, the success will really catch up with you once you buckle down and say, I'm just going to get this done. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to get my work done. I'm going to go out. I'm going to go source more items. I'm going to consistently do it. Don't leave your handling set for 5 days because you feel lazy. Set it for 1 day. Get your packages out the very next day just because it's the best thing for the customers. Don't rush to get your listings done. Take gorgeous looking photos and sell your items faster. Save time because you put in more time. And make good contacts. Holy crap. One of the best things I did in December was make really, really good contacts with people. You should have people that are reaching out to you wanting to sell you stuff. And I didn't realize how much of this I had until somebody had commented on one of my posts. And I realized 2 of the items that I'd even posted that day were only made available to me because I'd been running active ads in my area. If you haven't ever ran ads, make 2021 the year that you run ads to be able to buy things. People will just call you looking to sell you stuff all day long. People will call you once you become established within a particular category. I don't care what it is. It can be games, it can be toys, it can be cards, it can be collectibles, it can be antiques, whatever it is. Start running ads. Start making more money. And then go out and start mapping your areas. I've been going out of town. We haven't been able to go on vacation because we have an absolute... Oh my God. An absolute numbskull for a governor right now who's this close to getting recalled. And we've got these ridiculous restrictions in place. And I don't want to go on this long thing. And I'm not saying COVID isn't an important thing and it's not real. But, when you go from saying we can't have people go out because, too many people are dying. And then they say too many people are infected. And now they're using the ICU capacity as a metric. And no one's dying here in California at the rate that they were dying before. It's just the ICUs are full, so they're restricting everything. Makes it harder to work, makes it harder to do your money. So we have to go out of town to really keep our inventory diverse and keep our inventory up. If you haven't done it lately, start looking at towns that are an hour or 2 hours away from you and plan trips. I've got a map set up for next week. If we're not going to go on Tuesday this week, we're going to go on Tuesday next week. And we have 3 towns that we're stopping in. And we have maybe about 15 thrift stores that we're going to try and hit. Obviously, if we can't hit them all on the way over, we're going to hit half on the way over and then half on the way back. And we're going to squeeze in a full vacation too. We're going to take 2 days off of work and, take a day at the beach, take a day at the park, like go to like a big national park or something, get a hike in or something, hike and a picnic and all that good stuff. But you start expanding where you're working and start finding more goodies. Oh man, I can't tell you how much fun I have going to a new thrift store, one that I've never been to before. A lot of these items, I didn't even show you everything. Okay. I got bins of other stuff. Okay. I go to thrift stores that I've never been to before, and I will just clean the shelves. I will buy up all this stuff that every other reseller before me thought was worthless because they didn't know what they were doing. I can't go into a new thrift store without filling a cart unless the prices are absurd. Mr. Exquisite says, I always suggest people map out their days. Efficiency is great. 100%. So what I do is when I'm plotting where I'm going from, I put in my origin destination and where I'm going to. That's the first thing I do. Then I scroll out and I type in thrift stores and I look at every town that has thrift stores between there and there. And then I start at the first town, I zoom in, make sure the thrift store is open, make sure the thrift store is active, like in a real location. I jot down the address and I jot down the time that they open. And I make sure that they're open on the day that I'm going to go. Then I check that entire town for other thrift stores and I jot them all down based on the direction I'm going. Then the next town and then the next town. And then I'm at my destination. Okay. That efficiency, it will help you out opposed to just, I'm going to drive to San Luis Obispo and see what's out there. You're better off spending an hour at home plotting it instead of spending an hour, 2 hours kind of twirling your thumbs and going to the same store 3 times because you didn't read Google Maps, right? Yada, yada, yada. But if there's no questions, guys, I think this might be it for us tonight. I think that's where we're at. We've kind of covered everything we've needed to cover. Hopefully you learned something new tonight. You take some valuable information away with you. And hopefully you feel a little bit more rejuvenated. You feel like doing some work after we get off this video. And those of you who are actively working while you're watching this, congratulations. I'm happy for you. That being said, this has been the Sunday Reseller Roundup for January 24th, 2021. And I appreciate you being here. I haven't edited the outro. There's a bunch of people who aren't even patrons anymore. And if you're a new patron and I don't have you in the outro, I'm sorry. I'm busy working. I've been meaning to get it done, but I'll get it sorted out eventually. We'll get it figured out. And I can't even tell you when I'm going to be back again. It's going to be whenever I feel like it, but I will continue to make videos. And if you have a video idea, leave it in the comments down below. If you're watching this later, leave me a comment. It really helps us out. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, if you don't make that money, someone else will. Have a wonderful night. I hope you have lots of sales.